Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another hot tea reaction video, and if I look all oily and sweaty, it's because, well, it says it's 65, but it was 80 degrees earlier. That's too hot. That's just too hot, and it's still hot, and I got two fans on right now. I want to be freezing, bruh. Like, I'm telling you, like, after I'm done recording tonight, what I'm going to do is look up ways of how to freeze my body and still be alive, because I just don't understand like how people, they'll be out here in like 100-degree weather, like chilling and stuff, and it just, don't make any sense to me. Like, I don't think that's normal. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. This video is titled Trisha Paytas replaced on Frenemies. It honestly doesn't surprise me because I don't think not too many people will know of this podcast. Maybe some, I don't know. But there's this podcast called the Joe Budden podcast, I believe. Or I think it's either the Joe Budden show or the Joe Budden podcast. But anyways, the host Joe Budden, he so there's these two guys that he had on the show named Rory and Maul, and they ended up quitting, I believe, or they were either, I think they were fired. One of the two, they ended up leaving the show and starting up their own thing, and probably within a few episodes, or maybe like that next episode, he replaced them. And so I think originally they were just, taking a break, but then I think it was either they quit or he had fired them. And they were replaced, like, within a few episodes or within that same episode. But anyways, it happens, and that's why I'm like, I'll always recommend it, like, make sure you're friends with the people that you work with and stuff, because it can be, and I'm not trying to say that Ethan and Trisha wasn't friends. They do come off as like, that they were somewhat friends, but like it just came off as like, they wasn't like, friends like Jennifer Aniston and the rest of that cast, like friends. Like, nah, it just seems like it was kind of like of a business associates, like that coworker that you're only chilled with like while you're at the workplace, but as soon as y'all walk out them doors, and it's like you would look each other like across the street and just, like be doing like stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. Pick and choose who you're gonna be working with, because it can affect you in the long run. I feel like that's the friends that I would choose to work with. I feel like I would be able to work with them for a long period of time. And if some stuff were to go down between the both of us, it would be like, solved right then and there, or it would just be like, hey, so we decide that we're just gonna go our separate ways. I got nothing but love and respect for that person. I ain't trying to, say anything to be, offensive or any of that stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all get the picture. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. Make sure you go subscribe to Hot Tea, her second channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. But then that being said, let's get into this video.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is on Trisha Paytas. Again, Tana Mojo exposing Austin McBroom for cheating on his wife and more. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and give this video a thumbs up. Alright, let's get into it. So, Trisha Paytas posted a new video which she did not monetize because it was on a darker topic. In this video, she acknowledged the fact that yes, she would make Jewish and Tourette's jokes at Ethan, and when Ethan told her he was uncomfortable with them, she stopped making these jokes. She defended herself by saying that those were just banter and that was just their kind of relationship. But then she starts complaining about how Ethan made weird jokes about her, and he would bring up her SA for entertainment purposes, and even in front of her mother once, which she was definitely not okay with. Trisha does acknowledge that while she has done many things wrong in this podcast, it's just the things that Ethan would joke about are still not okay. People in the comments of the last Frenemies episode were talking about how Trisha was in a bad mood from the beginning of the episode. Trisha actually agrees with that and says that her bad mood was partially in response to Ethan sexualizing her skin.
It happens. I mean, I don't know how many times I've done things and kind of been in the bad mood. Like, there's been times I've done videos and live streams, I've just, not really in a good mood, And I'll admit I've had my moments, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was some along like a Trisha Paytas moment, but still like I've had my moments.
And Caroline, and just realizing her in general, which she doesn't like anymore at this point in her life. And then Trisha moves on to talk about how people were like, oh, Trisha was probably triggered because they were talking about Gabby in the episode. But Trisha says that she wasn't triggered by Gabby specifically, but mostly by Ethan, who kept asking Trisha whether or not she actually had herpes, which made her very uncomfortable. So yes, she does think that maybe she did self-sabotage to an extent due to a variety of reasons that were bothering her. But she just now knows that it does not feel comfortable ever going back on that set again with all of the negativity on that set with the crew and stuff. Which is fine because apparently Ethan is possibly replacing Trisha with, wait for it, Whitney Cummings, which we'll get into in a sec, but first let's talk about Ethan's response to Trisha's video. Ethan tweeted, I know y'all want me to talk about Trisha, but this whole thing is extremely upsetting and disturbing. I'm still processing it. This is a person who I considered one of my closest friends a week ago who is now making videos accusing me of sexually harassing her. It's too much. Honestly, that's actually very true. Like, how was everything okay 1 week ago? It just goes to show how people just can't be trusted, not even your closest friends.
That's the thing. It's, he could have looked at her as like a, because I feel like, we've all had like a friendship like that where you would look at a person as a friend, but they don't really look at you as a friend. Because I feel like I've been on both receiving ends where I've looked at people as friends, they wasn't really friends, and then people have looked at me as friends, and I wasn't really a friend either. And so it's like, when it's like that, I do feel like that the person should recognize that and just be like, all right, if this person don't want to be cool with me, I ain't gonna be cool with them. So that would be my question. I don't know, like she probably did, but at the same time she just seems like that person where it's like she like, well, not so much as that she wants to start drama, but she knows what she's going to say like when some drama unfolds, you know what I'm saying? Like she overall, like with this situation where her and Ethan, you can like honestly like have it side by side with any other situation. And then, like, I remember when before she got in, when she was like beefing with Vlog Squad and stuff, I remember there was like a video that I think has been talked about on Ray's channel. And even I even remember that video where she was just like, oh, if I ever fall out with you guys, I got so much like tea and dirt on you. And that's honestly, the same, like you see it like with literally everybody that she gets into it with. And so some situations I feel like it was like, called for, like, she had a right to, say and do what she needs to say and do. But with other situations, it's like just, playbook Trisha Paytas, like, it's straight out of her playbook. So that's why I'm like, he should, I guess he should have realized, or had it like that, like that mindset that it was going to overall happen and things. So, this whole situation, but
her in the workplace, which is the textbook definition of sexual harassment. Trisha replies saying, my video today is not monetized. I included a trigger warning because I'm talking about super sensitive topics. I'm not sure if twisting everything I say this week is intentional to drive more hate my way or not, but it's disheartening. Starting with me wanting to fire the crew to now accusations of sexual harassment when it's me talking about my health/history. I assure you, Ethan did not watch my video, inciting more unwarranted hate towards me. I don't even know what to do at this point. I take responsibility for wrongs that I did on the show, but I'm also allowed to speak on what made me uncomfortable regarding my sexual history/health. And now on to the Whitney Cummings thing. People were thinking that Whitney Cummings is going to be replacing Trisha on Frenemies, which honestly sounds like it would be such a perfect match, but it was all because of these recent stories by Whitney Cummings on Instagram. It just kind of looks like the Frenemies set. She's wearing pink. There's like the division of pink and black. And she also posted the second story, which made it so much worse, saying behind the scenes nonsense of the making of the top secret announcement, which totally could make it sound like she was visiting Frenemies. However, Whitney just appears to be shooting at a photo studio with a similar pink and black backdrop used on Frenemies. In response to one user saying H3, the concept for the show Frenemies is too good to throw away, I will still watch it if you get a new host. At Oliver Tree, at Whitney Cummings. Whitney said, in. Another user said, if Whitney Cummings goes on Frenemies, I'll literally stop watching all H3, even if I like H3 After Dark the best. Whitney responds to being like, thanks. Moving on, Jeff Wittick talked about funny. Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein's departure from Frenemies in his newest podcast episode.
Yeah, our favorite podcast. And it fell apart. What a surprise. Frenemies is done, bro.
Really?
They're done.
What? He was devastated. I never watched them, by the way.
It was a good show. I understand why people liked watching it while it lasted.
He actually said that he could tell that their relationship was toxic from the start. And then
yeah,
he goes
it's
on
like,
to...
that's what I'm like, my thing is this, it's simple math. And I've always used this example because I feel like it's one of the best examples. That's one of the things I do remember in math. But when you try to add a negative number to a positive number, so overall, it's like when you try to add, and I'm not overall trying to say that Trisha Paytas is like a 24/7 negative person. I'm pretty sure she does have her positive moments. But when you try to add negative, bad mood, Trisha Paytas and all of that to positive Ethan Klein, do you think that you're going to get, because I feel like the only way that you'd be able to have, more of a positive number is if you get another positive person. Yeah, they could have, where they could be completely different from you. Y'all could just, be opposites. But I feel like that was the case with, Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein. But you have to see where it's like, we know who Trisha Paytas is. And we know the type of energy that she brings to places. Would you want to do business with her? I guess that's overall what I'm trying to say. And I'm not trying to really speak on Ethan Klein, but I do feel like that he did kind of look at the situation blindly, and that's why this whole thing fell apart, because he was just I guess he was being naive, but at the same time, it's I feel like he does know of her, and he was trying to work his way around it, but still, it's bro, you should have known that this is going to happen, so.
To, for some reason, say that they were toxic because they were making fun of people, but I don't think they were necessarily making fun of people. It was more just commentating on them, maybe in a slightly comedic way. But yeah, I don't think they were making fun of people on Frenemies.
I saw from day one that was a toxic relationship and it was not going to end well, and who'd have thought it would have ended over money. There's a lot of stress that goes into making those types of videos. When you make fun of somebody and you're not just making, Cody Code does it lightheartedly, he roasts people, he make the same stereotypical jokes that everybody makes. I do that with the barbershop.
Moving on, apparently Tana Mojo needs her weekly dose of clout because she's been all over the internet talking about how she caught Austin McBroom cheating on his wife a while back. Here's the TikTok she made.
One time Austin McBroom was cheating on Catherine, and the girl he was cheating on her with left a lipstick in his car, and I'm sitting in the car with Jake, and we get a call from Catherine, and it's Austin bawling his eyes out, and Catherine absolutely screaming, holding this lipstick inside of their car, and she's screaming, and she's like, it's the lipstick, Tana's, Austin says the lipstick's Tana's, blah, blah, blah. Austin's bawling. My dumbass thinks that the right thing to do at the time is save the kids. So I lie to Catherine. I'm like, this is my lipstick. It wasn't my lipstick, Catherine.
It's aren't they the same age? Because Tana, she's 24, 25. Austin McBroom, he's roughly the same age. He don't look like no high schooler, so that's why I'm what are you talking about? Save the kid. Yeah, that's what I'm I just think at times, who brushes their hair and talks about people? That's what I'm nah, you doing some murderous stuff and things. So for one, that, and for two, it's why? For what? I feel in a situation like that, it's why are you bringing it up on social media? I do think that it's all right, let me just stir the pot a little bit and try to stir up some drama, and it's it wasn't your turn to even stir. You should have been far over she should have been waiting at the table trying to receive her food, but it's No, she don't want to wait. She just want, take it and just not wait until it's like all evenly portioned out. But yeah, Tana, I think what's best is if you try to, maybe work on TanaCon or something. I don't know, but anyways.
I'm really sorry, but we Team Bryce out here on God, so.
And it was like, that's honestly, when seeing that was the only thing that picked up from me. It was like, oh, she's a Bryce Hall fan. Okay, so.
Another time, Austin hired 4 of my friends as his nannies, and when Catherine would leave, he would sleep with all of them, and then told her that they were all his nannies, and it was a fake nanny company. And I just, so when you ask me why I'm Team Bryce, it's kind of like picking a lesser of 2 evils, you know?
She also tweeted about it multiple times for some reason, saying the exact same story, saying, one time Austin McBroom was cheating on Catherine with a random and she left the lipstick in his car. Then I was sitting with Jake in the car and he gets a FaceTime. It's from Austin crying and Catherine yelling, "Is this Tana's lipstick?" Austin says it is. It wasn't, but I lied for the sake of the children and I said it was. Happy fight day, Team Bryce, on God. And for some reason, Tana is selling Team Bryce shirts. Like, this is insane. Why is she selling Team Bryce shirts?
Trying to make that money.
But it's just so ironic that she says she lied for the sake of the children at the time, only to now expose Austin on multiple platforms. Like,
is she talking? I don't know why I thought she was like saying like, oh, like talking on Austin and his wife, but I'm like, yeah, y'all is like the same age.
Suddenly decide that the children don't need to have their parents together. Like, what's going on? She also went on to say, Austin also hired 4 of my friends as nannies and masseuses so he could hook up with them when wifey ate home. Man started a fake nanny company to cheat, LMAO. Austin replied to Tana's accusation, saying, to the biggest clout chaser of them all. And it was actually Erica Costell's lipstick dummy. I was taking Jake and her back to Jake's house. This lame ass lie ain't gonna save the attention that your little boyfriend Bryce is about to get for his ass whooping. By the way, sidetrack, what did you guys think about the Austin and Bryce fight? Comment down below. Erica herself.
It amazes me how, content creators, because at one point in time, we were just sitting at home making videos, and now you got some of us like doing professional boxing and things. My thing is like, I don't mind doing boxing, but my dream has always been a wrestler. So I'm like, bro, forget the boxing match. I want to be at WrestleMania standing on top of a ladder getting ready to slam on somebody. Like, I want to do like a Money in the Bank ladder match. I want to do like a freaking, I don't know, a Hell in a Cell match with like 90s Kane. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to have a memorable moment like that. I'm like, or have it freaking, I mean, if there's a YouTuber out there that wants to set up like some, like, a WWE style wrestling match, for sure I'll do it. So, but because I guess like you can get injured and stuff in WWE, but I feel like if I'm like trained, I feel like that it can be a good thing. So I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for like the YouTube wrestling league. If once they come out with a YouTube wrestling league and it's like some WWE type stuff, then I'll do it. But boxing, I'm like, bro, you could get brain damage by doing boxing. I ain't trying to come up out of there and then like start forgetting stuff, and I'm like losing like just bodily functions. Like, yeah, I'm like that's doing too much. But anyway,
Self also corroborated Austin's story by tweeting, "It was actually a lip liner. Can I get that back?" What's also ironic is that at the time apparently Tana and Jake worked together, but why was Erica also with Jake? Questions. Here's Tana's reaction to Bryce Hall getting knocked out, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, we get it. You're pissed. Can you stop swearing? Editing this is becoming a nightmare.
I've been getting a Birkin after this. Eesh.
Oh my
Oof,
God.
oof, 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 eesh, oof, oof,
Oh my God, it's over. It's over.
Did Austin McBroom win?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. All right, guys, Team Bryce shirts are no longer on sale, so to everybody who got them,
Oh my God, they're gonna be
so
like a
much.
novelty piece.
Fuck. FML, SMH, shit. I'm kidding. I'm not switching teams. I still love Bryce. Austin's still a cheater and a bad person, but shit.
Also, I'm pretty sure this is the girl that Tana had beef with a couple of months ago and like made a story time on, remember? Like, it was something about her best friend sleeping with her boyfriend or something, or just her buddy. I don't remember, but that was her.
Clout chasing.
I think.
I'm telling you, Tana, she's out here doing WWE stuff without the wrestling. Like, she's just having all these like storylines just written out. She's like, all right, First storyline, I married Jake Paul. Second storyline, my best friend sleeping with some mystery boyfriend. Third storyline, call out Austin McBroom, say that he's a cheater. Fifth storyline, get into a boxing match with Bella Thorne, but it ain't even a real legitimate boxing match. It's just some stuff for TV. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, she clout chasing overall.
Like her, I follow her on TikTok. She's actually pretty funny.
What is that cry?
But then there's this other girl who's saying Austin allegedly contacted her asking her to collab, then took her to a home in Malibu, and he apparently told her that his relationship with Catherine is only for publicity.
Anyway, so a couple months ago, I get a
This
DM
man, he forever. It's not even him though, but it's like other people that be like saying that he's like cheating on his wife and things. I'm like, dang, it's crazy. Yeah, I feel like this has been going on for at least like a couple of years now. Like I even remember like a while ago just hearing him like Austin McBroom being talked on, because he's the one with the kids, right? And like I think he has like a family YouTube channel. So yeah, people has been saying this for a while now, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Him on Instagram.
I mean, if he is, then it's like, you know, stop it, because it's like you got a good wife at home, so it's like don't, you know, ruin that because you want to sleep around and things. But
and I was like, of course, like I knew who he was. Like I had never talked to a celebrity. Like I was pretty new to doing like collabs and stuff at the time. So I was like, oh my gosh, he really just messaged me. Like I was.
And it's like ladies, overall, if a guy contacts you and he say, hey, you know, you want to collab, and if he's in a relationship, that's why I feel like you gotta ask, like, are we collaborating with like a? Because my thing is like, I don't know, if I was a woman and some dude contacted me and was all like, hey, you want to collab, I would be like, hey, yo, is we collaborating with other people? You know, like, is there going to be like a group of people? Because that's what I would do. Like, my thing is, because I don't want to raise no suspicion and any of that stuff. So I'm like, I mean, I know I wouldn't get into no relationship and start sleeping around and things. So definitely I'd just be like, okay, like, we got to collaborate as a collective, like as a group and stuff. Like, we can't do like no like side, like collaborations or none of that. Like, unless like, you know, I'm like cool with that person, like, you know, we're just over, like, we know that we're friends and we know we wouldn't do no weird stuff like that. And yeah, it's like I'm telling y'all, like, I'm going to, whoever my future wife is, it's like, you better prepare for the most faithful husband, boyfriend, whatever you want to call me, significant other half, whatever. Like, you about to get the most faithful dude by your side, because I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, it's too much. It's too much. I watched the TV show Cheaters. It's not fun, but
just like stoked. So here was our conversation on Instagram. I mean,
why is she blurring the name out?
Typical like collab DM. I did find it a little weird and unnecessary that he needed to text me afterwards. So we text. He asked me if I'm gonna be in LA anytime soon.
It's like, looked like that was like that was on Instagram. Why is she blurring the name out?
Of course.
Yeah, maybe that was a bad idea.
So I go to LA by myself. So I get to LA. I'm staying in a hotel completely by myself.
Oh man, it's only getting worse.
We're texting a little bit throughout the day, like, you know, kind of like seeing what I'm like, I keep asking what the plans are later and like what exactly we're doing, and he kind of just keeps beating around the bush and not being direct and just kind of vague. It really bothers me. I'm like the type to like,
yeah, I'm like, that's when you should know something ain't right. I'm like, my thing is like, okay, somebody contacted me and I contact them first saying, hey, let's collaborate. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play this game. We're going to do this video. We're going to do this video for my other channels, TikToks, whatever, you know. But I'm letting them know, like, this is what we're going to do. I ain't going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, we're going to do some videos. What kind of videos? Oh, you know, just them one type of videos that be on YouTube and stuff. Like, what? What do you... That's all that gets uploaded onto YouTube. You can't upload photos. Like, I don't think you can. You? I don't think you can. No, I don't think you can. But profile pictures and thumbnails. But I'm like, you gotta have some videos, bro. Like, what kind of videos? But
want to know what we're doing. And so like we were supposed to meet at like 6, and then it got pushed to 7, then 8, and then I texted him at 9. Like, okay, what is the deal?
Oh my God! Abort mission now.
Like I was like, why are we meeting so late? You know. When he said spot in Malibu, I was like, what does that even mean? Spot, like restaurant, like what, you know? But anyways, he picks me up in the blue Rolls Royce that everyone knows. So I'm like, okay, so it shouldn't be anything fishy. Like, he's not trying to be sneaky about it, whatever. And then where do we pull up? To a house in Malibu. And I was like, oh my God.
Not sure how I feel about that, but I'm 100% sure of that last publicity bit. In other news, I'm sure you've heard about Deji losing his match. He tweeted saying, "I'm sorry, I'm a failure." Oh my God, I feel so bad. Like, oh, he seems so sad. KSI.
Honestly though, I'm like, it's because, you know, I've been following Hot Tea for a while, so it's like to see her like talk on like Deji, and because I'm saying not saying that I don't enjoy the content. I mean, I love the content that Ray puts out, but it's just like, man, like, you know, see her talk about Deji, I'm like, man, it's like, because for those that don't know, I'm a big fan of Deji, so it's, you know, to see this, I'm like, hey yo, I appreciate you, Ray, for plugging this in real quick. You know, it's just changing it up a little bit. I like it.
I replied saying, "No, you're not, Deji. You got in that ring. That's more than what many could ever do. Ultimately, you're an entertaining YouTuber, boxing or not. So don't worry about this for real, bro." Also, I'm like so behind on my UK YouTuber tea, but didn't these two like hate each other?
Yeah.
But then again,
at one point in time, they did get into it. But no, they cool now. They cool. They just did a video together yesterday or the day before, so yeah, you know, that's the thing, like, siblings get into it, and I have been following these guys for years. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, like, KSI started off with FIFA, and so I remember, like, when I got into FIFA, playing that game, and then, you know, I started watching his videos, and I started watching Deji's videos, and then found out that they were brothers and just started watching their videos as a collective. And yeah, but it's like, you know, they did beef, but I know that their dog, they had a dog named Tank, and it got put down because I think their neighbor had walked onto their property and got bit by the dog, and they, you know, kept the dog for like, I think 2-3 years or some stuff like that, and then put the dog down. I was like, that is without doubt the craziest, you know, it's like the craziest and saddest dog story I've ever heard. Like, I was honestly sad that day when he said Tank got put down, but yeah, I think it was that, and you know, it just brought them together and things, and since then I think they've been cool. They haven't really gotten into it and stuff since then, but anyways.
I heard about these two people was like 2 years ago when they were fighting Jake and Logan, so yeah, don't expect me to be up to date. Deji also posted a video saying he'll be taking a break from YouTube.
Personally, with my fights, unfortunately I took an L. I want to say congrats to Vinny Hacker, congrats to everybody who took part in the event. Like, boxing is tough.
He says his stamina failed him again. He is very well aware of that. He knows he needs to take a break from social media and work on himself as well as his cardio because he does want to box again.
And don't worry about me, I am all good. As you can see, I'm more cheerful, I'm happy. This isn't a facade. I'm living life, all right? I needed this. This is something that's just gonna ultimately help me.
He says he needed this to happen because it somewhat humbled him. Wait, didn't he get humbled the first time around? Okay, sorry, didn't mean to kick a guy when he's down, but moving on, there actually were people in the comments who were really mean, calling him fat just because he doesn't have these like chiseled abs. So all Deji had to say in response to those people was,
and the ones also calling me a fat bitch, I appreciate it.
Alright, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. That was it for
I'm
today.
saying, like, everybody can get abs.
Let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below.
You know how many times I've been, like, doing sit-ups and all these different ab workouts? It's crazy how my body operates. I'm about to just have, like, this toned out body, but just, like, I'm gonna have to, like, legit, like, flex my, like, as hard as I can just to form abs. I'm like, it's doing too much, bro. I'm like, if abs wanted to be there, they had been there, but...
If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. Alright, bye.
It's like, I'm gonna have to, like, come out with my own, like, ab machine to work out, but... Anyways, no, that was a pretty good video. Shout out to Ray for always putting these good videos together and stuff. But yeah, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to her channel, Hot Tea, and then also make sure you... Like, almost knocked mine. It's like, I don't know how I did. It was like, I didn't touch it, and it just, you know, it wasn't going to fall off and things. But anyways, make sure you go subscribe to her channel, Hot Tea, and then her second channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. Like, subscribe to me, too, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.